What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Goat Talk. It definitely looks different tonight. We're trying something new. We're going to see how this works out. So this episode, I think we're going to be talking about the NFL trade deadline because a lot of trades have had a record 12 trades happen on deadline day. So we're going to jump right into that.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a different scene for us, huh?
Yeah, I kind of
Different
like
from
it.
it is nice. Definitely not gonna do all episodes like this, but I could see us doing some. Especially when it's just me and you. I know
Yeah,
Ant
it's a
was
lot more convenient.
yeah, and
It's
I know
just a lot easier to just hop on here and rather than come over and do this and that.
yeah, and I know Ant was down to film still. Showed up to your
I know
house,
he showed up. He's real committed.
but
We said we weren't filming. He still shows up.
when we don't have the full crew, it just kind of seems like it would be smarter, easier to just hop on like this.
I agree.
So
I agree.
yeah, we're gonna get right into this. First trade obviously didn't happen on trade day, on the deadline day, but San Francisco 49ers trading for Christian McCaffrey. Traded away a 2023 second round pick, 2023 third round pick, 2023 fourth round pick, and a 2024 fifth round pick.
I mean, it's an expected package for a player like McCaffrey. I didn't think. I know they wanted first round picks. I didn't think anybody was going to give first round
Me
picks
neither.
because of his injury history. But I mean, look what he did in his debut: a receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and a passing touchdown.
That's the first time. I think it was first time in 17 years somebody's done that, which is just wild to me.
He really is just a different type of player.
He is, and you sit here and you think like, oh, how many years does McCaffrey have until he starts declining? But I don't know, man. He's different.
I am shocked he stayed in the NFC. That's all. I know it's not the division, but I'm still shocked that they dealt him in the NFC. I really thought he was going to come to an AFC team.
That's probably the best package that they were given for him. So, hey, the 49ers will trade picks. The whole division will trade picks, man. They don't give a crap over there.
But he goes back to West Coast. Played his college ball at Stanford. He's back to the West Coast.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good trade for both teams. It propels the 49ers to, I think, a very good playoff team at this point. And the Panthers, they weren't sniffing the playoffs. We all know that. No. So it gives them a lot of compensation for just one player. So
I think the whole, it definitely helps them out a lot as a playoff team and everything. I don't know if Jimmy G is just like I said, I've said in previous episodes, I'm not a Jimmy G hater. He's a winner. He wins. But he can't win the big games.
Yeah, I mean,
he'll get you there, but you're not going to win.
I'll say what I say about a lot of quarterbacks. Yeah, he's a quarterback.
He throws the ball. Or just have McCaffrey run the Wildcat.
McCaffrey is now the running back, quarterback, and number one receiver on the team.
And I think you definitely see how the Panthers, we're not making it because you trade him. They traded Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson went to the Cardinals?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he gets traded to the Cardinals. So they were going to trade Brian Burns, but no deals ever came through. I saw the Rams offer 2 first-round picks for him. In 2027? They don't have any picks.
They had to have been very far in the future for them to decline that. Because
they don't have any picks left, the Rams.
Exactly. I think if the Rams would have had firsts sooner, if they would have had a 2024 and a 2023 or something like that, then I think that the Panthers would have accepted that. But they had to have been deep for them to be no to 2 firsts. I would have taken that.
They did keep DJ Moore though.
I know, surprising. I was trying to get him in our fantasy league because I thought he was going to get dealt.
Yeah, he's probably pissed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they just what'd the Cardinals give the Panthers for Robbie Anderson? You know?
I don't know, man. A fourth, a fifth, maybe. I don't know.
It was a good pick for the Cardinals though, because Marquise Brown goes down. You got Robbie Anderson, who he's not the greatest, but he's not the worst.
He's a burner, man. He'll run down the field. He'll catch a touchdown.
D-Hop's played 2 games and he's doing D-Hop things, leading the league in catches, receiving yards since those 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good team. You just got to need Kyler to get off COD for a little bit and
I
just
know,
win
man.
some football
Even
games, man.
when you think he had a good game, like I'm over there, I'm like, oh, 25 fantasy points. This guy had a
I know.
good game. Then I go and actually look, and he threw like 2 or 3 interceptions. I was like, damn, he
Yeah,
sucks.
I know. I have him in my other league, and I just need some more points from him. He's not cutting it. I traded for him too because my quarterback was Trey Lance. You saw how that worked. Then I picked up Russell Wilson off waivers because he was dropped, not doing good. So I had to trade, and I got Kyler Murray. What did I give up for Kyler Murray? A low end receiver and like Demont. So I was like, all right, it's not the worst.
Yeah, on to our second trade here. Roquan Smith traded from the Bears to the Ravens. So the Ravens gave up linebacker A.J. Klein, 2023 second and a 2023 fifth for Roquan Smith.
Now, I like this trade because Roquan Smith, he's a dog. That man's a dog.
He's an actual dog.
Inside and out, he's a dog. And this is a big pickup for the Bears. Are another team. Like I feel like he wanted to be traded. I think before the season started, but they couldn't find anything, so he's been playing. But this is a great trade for the Ravens. I think you got one of the best linebackers in the league, and then you didn't give up. You didn't give up that much.
No, second, fifth, and I don't know if AJ Klein was like a. I don't know defensive players as much as I know like offensive players, so I don't know if he's like very good or what the.
I don't know what he's been doing with them, but I know the past 2 years he was with the Bills and he was kind of like a backup, like someone got hurt. But every time he played like a starter. Like he made big plays for us. So I actually liked him. So he could be good. We got before us. He was with the Packers. I think he was like their starter, but he's not bad. But Roquan Smith is a beast. That's a big pickup for the Ravens defense,
really is.
which is already a good defense.
I mean, on here, biggest winners, they have Ravens as number 1 on the trade deadline. So, you know.
I feel like I would put them at number 1 if they got, besides Roquan, if they got another receiver.
Yeah. I mean, their defense, we're used to the Ravens playing some stellar defense. So,
yeah,
it's been a little iffy, especially starting the season, basically winning every game, winning the whole game every game, and then just blowing the lead. Four games in a row? So,
yep.
Hopefully, I mean, actually, I don't really like the Ravens, so not hopefully that helps them, but it should help them out.
I definitely think, because like I said, you're getting one of the best linebackers in the league already on a very good defense. I mean, that's a good trade for them.
All right, next trade. This one, I don't know if I would say it was a shocker, but it was definitely, I don't think a lot of people saw this one coming. Bradley Chubb traded from the Denver Broncos to the Miami Dolphins. So the Dolphins end up with Bradley Chubb and a 2025 fifth-round pick, and the Broncos end up with running back Chase Edmonds, 2023 first-round pick, which is the 49ers' first-round pick, and then a 2024 fourth-round pick.
So, yeah, this is a crazy trade because Bradley Chubb's good. He has injury history, which is the only good reason why I'm looking at it, because putting him on that Dolphins defense with Melvin Ingram already, it's like, I'm not scared because we got Josh Allen, but that's a good pairing. But he does have injury history, but I didn't see the full details at first. And then I saw it, and I was like, Chase Edmonds. I was like, oh, man, Raheem Mostert, like, his fantasy value just skyrocketed. Like, this is a really good trade for, as much as I hate to say, it's a great trade for the Dolphins because you put him on one end and a Melvin Ingram on the other end.
I mean, you could clearly see Miami's in go mode right now. They're 5-3. They've had a couple big wins this year, and they decided, you know what, we're going to take a chance. We're going to grab one of the better linebackers, one of the best probably in the league, and it seems like, I mean, they made another trade that we'll talk about later, but it seems like they're kind of going all in for this year. Already 5-3. Tua's playing out of his mind, actually. He has I think it was the highest QBR through the season right now. It's like 112 or something like that, which nobody expected.
Nah, he literally has no mind left after those hits he took earlier in the game. he's got nothing in there. That's why he's just playing. He's not thinking because he can't think. His head's so messed up he can't think.
He's got no
just
brain
playing.
cells. He's just throwing the ball.
Yeah, literally. Still not worried. Still got a noodle on him. Still got to come to Buffalo.
Smack him around real quick.
Real quick.
I'm going to go out of order in the trades I'm seeing. I don't have it up, so I'm just going to go off the top of my head. I know. Yeah, here it is. Jeff Wilson traded to the Miami Dolphins from the 49ers for a 2023 fifth-round pick.
Yep. So once I saw the Edmonds deal, I'm like, oh, Raheem Mostert skyrocketed.
Nope.
I don't know, maybe 10 minutes later, Jeff Wilson to the Dolphins. I'm like, that sucks.
There goes. Dolphins.
That sucks.
Dolphins are basically reforming the 49ers backfield from the past couple of years. All they need to do now is hope that somehow Eli Mitchell gets dropped and then they can pick him up too. And they'll have last year's trio on their team.
But the thing with like the 49ers 49ers running backs is what we know is they're always injured. Man. So I don't know if that's the best backfield to build off of.
No.
But I'm pretty sure they have one of the 49ers old coaches on the team. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere. Right. Yeah, so they're probably just trying to build off an offense like that. But I just would. That's not a backfield I would want to build off of with all the injuries.
I mean, you could say it's worked out for the 49ers in years past, even with the injuries. So if one of them stays healthy, they mean they're good. They're good running backs. If one of them stays healthy, man.
I mean, this is like the first time in 3 years Raheem Mostert's healthy.
I know.
He's hurt every single year, but he's actually healthy.
Let's cross our fingers on that one.
So before this trade, actually, so Chase Edmonds gets dealt. I've seen Raheem Mostert. So I'm looking at fantasy on who their backups. Completely forgot this guy was still even in the NFL. Was Myles Gaskin. He was good a couple years ago, and now he's like their fourth string running back. So I was like, oh wow, I was like, he's gonna step up, and then they got Jeff Wilson.
He just didn't pan out. He was promising.
Had one good year.
I know I feel like he was more of a receiving back, and then last year he just really didn't have a good year. So on to our next trade here, Claypool. Claypool gets dealt to the Bears for a 2023 second-round pick. I think that is a fantastic trade for the Steelers. Fantastic.
Did you see what came out about the Packers about this trade?
Mm-mm.
They offered the Steelers a second-round pick, but the Steelers took the Bears because they think it's going to be a higher pick. So, like, if you're a Packers fan, you're kicking yourself right now because you guys need receiver help, and you literally gave the same exact offer for Chase Claypool, but you're too good to set. Like, you're too good. Like, that sucks. But, yeah, I agree for the Steelers to get a second-round pick for that bum. Amazing.
I mean, Claypool's a burner, plays in the slot. He's not going to make this team better, in my opinion, but I think we could see a little more offense out of the Bears now with him on the field, especially now you pair him with Mooney. One of them's going to start getting open. I
wonder how much this affects Mooney. I wonder how much targets and everything he takes away. Because it's not like they throw the ball a lot.
Yeah.
But maybe they'll start throwing the ball more now that they got Claypool on one side and Mooney on the other. I don't know.
Does Mooney play on the outside or in the slot?
I think they rotate him.
They'll probably. If I had to guess, Claypool usually I think plays out of the slot because I know
he's
now
a big body.
Deontay Johnson's gonna start playing a little in the slot now that he's gone. So, if they just throw Claypool in the slot and give him all the targets of the guys that were playing there for him, and just keep what's his name on the outside, I think they could. It's a decent wide receiver duo. It's not one that I would want as my 1 and 2, but for the Bears, you can't complain about it if you're a Bears fan.
You go out this offseason and you get a true number 1. It's not a bad 1, 2, 3 punch.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not.
But you got to get that true number 1, and then on the other side, like Deontay Johnson gets boosted too, and my dog Pickens gets boosted now too.
Yep. Those are, you really don't, fantasy-wise, want to have any of the Steelers wide receivers on your team, and I made a mistake of taking one of them. But
or
this
in
helps.
general, just any Steelers
Yeah.
because
They
I
all
took Najee Harris second overall.
That was a rough one.
Yeah.
Definitely think that the Steelers won this trade. Definitely.
Yeah, I agree. Second round pick, I think that's great value that they got in return.
Now, this next one, kind of shocking. I personally did not see this one coming at all. Didn't even think they would trade this guy. TJ Hawkinson traded in division to the Minnesota Vikings. Hawkinson, 2023 fourth, 2024 conditional fourth. To the Vikings, the Lions receive 2023 second and 2024 third.
So this was the first trade to happen on the deadline day, and so deadline day started off with a bang. I was shocked. Dude, Vikings, obviously, it's a great trade for them. Irv Smith out 8 to 10 weeks. They build off this. They have a top 10 tight end now around J. Jeff, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook.
Yep.
Great offense. But Lions, what are you doing? Like, I understand if you want to trade him, but why are you trading him in the division?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I was shocked.
I was definitely taken back when I saw that, especially the in-division part. One thing I will say is I saw some stats on Kirk Cousins throwing to tight ends. Not very good. It was literally bottom of the league. Like almost the worst for starters, I think it was. Dude, it was I forget the exact numbers, but
I'm not going to say it's going to change dramatically, but Hawkinson is a big upgrade from Irv Smith.
Oh, 100%. I mean, no knock on Irv Smith. He's actually a pretty good tight end.
He's a good tight end, yeah.
But TJ Hawkinson, when playing good and getting the ball thrown to him, is, in my opinion, a top 5 tight end. So, Vikings, I would say the Vikings definitely won this trade, especially getting a team to trade to you in division where you didn't give up any players.
I wish the Lions came out with a statement or something because I really want to know what they were thinking.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe
I
just
want to know why the division part, because I understand if you want to trade him and start because you got a good return for him, but why in the division?
It's weird, especially because I think that the Lions were going to be. I mean, I think we were all wrong when we thought they were going to be good this year, obviously, but
they have potential.
They can score points.
They were. I think I haven't checked in a couple weeks, but I think 2 weeks ago they were the highest scoring offense in the league.
Yeah, they can score points.
And that's without DeAndre Swift.
They just can't win games. It's like last year. How many games did they lose by one score last year? It was crazy.
A lot, yeah, a lot. They have potential. They have talent. They just can't, I guess, get it done.
I mean, I'm reading right here. It's saying that there's sound logic behind trading a player that likely wouldn't have signed long term. So, I mean, yeah.
I understand that, but why in division? I'm sure you could have found someone else to trade for him. He, like you said, he could be a top 5 tight end.
Yeah, it doesn't really say anything about in division. We'll just go to our next trade, which I honestly don't even remember seeing anything. 'Cause, like I said, I'm not much into defensive players. I know some, but Eagles receive Robert Quinn, and they traded a 2023 fourth-round pick. Now, I actually do remember seeing this one, but like I said, not something that I'm like, whoa, about.
I mean, it's a pretty big trade on the Eagles' part. 'Cause you get another DN, a veteran DN, who I'm pretty sure led the Bears in sacks last year. And he started off this season pretty good. So you got a veteran DN on that line, which we already know the Eagles are a good team. I think that was a pretty big trade for them.
Yeah, I mean, bolster your defense a little bit, and they have a very good defense to start with. 7-0. They gave up a 4th-round pick for him this coming draft. They definitely won this trade. I can't sit here and knock them for it. I do hope that they go 0-10 for the rest of the season, but still throw the ball to A.J. Brown. But
I wonder if he plays tomorrow.
They play tomorrow?
They play tomorrow against the Texans.
Oof. feel like
or yesterday, whatever it is.
whenever this goes up, guys. For us right now, it is Wednesday, the 2nd. So if we hear us saying yesterday, tomorrow, whatever, we're now confusing ourselves because I don't know when I'm uploading this one. So
Yeah, they got the Texans tomorrow, and Nico Collins is out, and I think Brandon Cooks is questionable. So
oh yeah,
Damon Pierce.
Nick won't trade him to me.
Yeah,
Nick won't trade anyone to me, dude.
He won't. Yeah, he's not gonna make any trades.
I asked him. I was like, "Yo, Nick, Dalvin." Well, first I kept trying to get D Hop still, and he's like, "No." So I'm like, "What about Dalvin Cook?" He goes, "You outscore me this week. You could have Dalvin." And then he went and dropped 170. I was like,
"Yeah, on me, dude. On me, of course."
Yeah, I don't know. There were a lot of, I would say, crazy trades on this deadline. I've already said 2 that I think were probably close to the craziest trades that I could think of. And then we go to this one. Calvin Ridley traded from the Falcons to the Jaguars for a 2023 conditional 5th-round pick and a 2024 conditional 2nd-round pick.
Honestly, not a bad trade for the Jaguars because when Calvin Ridley's healthy, we know what he could do.
Yeah.
He's a great receiver. It's just classic on how he was suspended for betting that the Falcons would beat the Jaguars. And now he's on the Jaguars.
Oh, yeah, I saw you retweet that. I thought that was funny, man.
That was so funny. Honestly, though, I do think it's a great trade for the Jaguars because, like I said, once he's healthy, we know what he could do.
Yeah, and I do think he definitely wasn't going to sign back with the Falcons, any sort of deal. No. And I mean, they get the 2024 conditional 2nd-round pick and the 2023 conditional 5th-round pick I was reading up on. I don't remember the exact terms on how it goes up and up, but I know that I'm pretty sure if he signs long-term, it could end up as like a 2nd-round pick. So
yeah, and it's like if he signs long-term and then if he plays next year and reaches like whatever certain amount of catches, yards, it goes up again.
Yeah.
Like Jaguars are one of those teams like they're kind of like the Lions in effect, like where they have a lot of talent to get jobs done, but they can never finish. Like, I don't want to say they're an underrated team, but they have like especially in the division that they're in, they have a lot of potential.
They're a sneaky team, is what I'll call them. We all thought they were going to be better than 2-6 at this point, especially after they started 2. I don't remember exactly what they started, but I know we were talking about it a couple episodes ago, and Justin was like, Trevor Lawrence is the real deal, the Jaguars are the real deal, and now they're sitting here at 2-6, but they're definitely a sneaky team. They can come in and they can beat any team, in my opinion. They can beat any
exactly.
team. So yeah, next year and the years coming, if that team performs, they will be very good, especially if Ridley signs long term. Like, dude, that's a true number 1 right there. He is.
Oh, absolutely.
He is very good. So.
And then honestly, like, we were all bashing it before the season started and anything, but Christian Kirk seems to be working for them.
Yeah,
he's killing it. So you have him, Christian. You got Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley as your 1, and then their 3 is like Zay Jones or Marvin,
or what's his name? Yeah.
Marvin Jones.
Yeah,
too.
Marvin Jones. So,
but Zay Jones is playing good.
All right, now this one hits home. Kadarius Toney traded from the Giants to the Chiefs. Chiefs sitting at 5-2. Giants sitting at 6-2. Giants get a 2023 3rd-round. I'm gonna mess up this word even though it's so easy. I'm not even gonna say it. They just got a 2023 3rd round and a 2023 6th round.
Not a bad trade for the Giants.
Not a bad trade. I think it's definitely a good trade for the Chiefs because I do think, even though he's barely played, Kadarius Toney he's a damn good football player. A lot of people think that Trayvon Diggs is a good corner, and what I saw this man Kadarius Toney do to Trayvon Diggs last year in the one game that he played, I was mind blown. And I mean, obviously, I don't think Trayvon Diggs is that good, but for people to think that he's that good and then see Kadarius Toney do some of the things he did to him, I was like, this guy can be pretty good. And then for them to go and trade him kind of hurts. I think was he a 1st-round pick? I feel like, or was he
I think it was.
So yeah, to see him as a 1st-round pick just get traded away for a third and a sixth kind of hurts. But
What about his back tattoo?
what was his back tat? I don't think I saw his back tattoo.
He's got his whole back tattooed. So it says Tony on the top, 89, because that's what number he was for the Giants. Like it's big, like a jersey's actually on him. Tony, 89 in the background. You have like the Statue of Liberty and stuff.
Oh no, I feel bad, dude.
Yeah.
I liked the guy. He was just the injuries were there. It seemed like towards the end it was kind of like a mutual. We're not going to play you. We're probably going to trade you, kind of thing. So
He's gonna come back, be a top 10 receiver with Mahomes.
dude, he has potential to be really good. Like I think
in
I
that
think
offense,
if he stays healthy, he can definitely take over the number one role on that team, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that one. I mean, it doesn't stink because they weren't 6-2 because of him. So I don't really. It's like, all right. It just stinks to see who I think is gonna be a very good young player, be gone this early. You know. Now, we'll go over to your Buffalo Bills, making a sneaky little trade here right at the end of the deadline, grabbing Nyheim Hines from the Indianapolis Colts for Zach Moss and a 2023 fifth-round pick.
I like it. I mean, it's not like we gave up a lot. Fifth round pick, and Zach Moss sucks.
Yeah.
So Nyheim Hines, I mean, he's a great receiving back.
Yeah.
He's so fast. And it gives James Cook more time to develop instead of being rushed into this RB2 spot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I personally like the trade a lot.
He's definitely a very serviceable back. Like him as my number one, especially on a team with that good of a running quarterback. I'm fine with that because you're not going to be having him rush the ball much. And like you said, very good receiving back. That's what you need on a team like this. You need someone that's going to be there and going to catch the ball almost every single time that Josh Allen throws it to him. So definitely a good trade for them. I would definitely say they won the trade. I don't think. Yeah. I mean, the Colts weren't going to get much back for him from any team anyway. So whatever they got is good enough. But I was surprised to see the Bills go after him and not someone more sought after. You know?
Yeah.
I
did expect them to go after like a guy like Kareem Hunt. I don't know if they did, and they couldn't agree. I think from what I saw, the Browns only wanted a fourth-round pick.
Yes, and I mean, you give a fifth for Nyheim Hines. I would definitely give Zach Moss and a fourth for Kareem Hunt. You know?
Yeah.
And I do think
I don't know what happened on that. If they reached out and couldn't agree on anything. I don't know, but yeah. I thought they were gonna land Kareem Hunt. That's how I really thought they were gonna get.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking Kareem Hunt, maybe Cam Akers, but
Cam Akers is another one. Yeah.
That one, we'll talk about that in a little bit. That's an interesting little story going on over there. Now, this one was a shocker too. I think it was definitely a very good trade for this team. The Jets went out and got James Robinson to
yeah.
I mean, if you're going out to get a guy that is that good, you're getting him to take over your number one spot. Obviously, Breece Hall gets hurt. Michael Carter, still a very good back, but I think in the coming weeks we're going to see James Robinson become the number one of that team. They only gave up a 2023 conditional 6th-round pick.
Yeah, was pretty surprised because they really didn't give up that much. James Robinson is a great running back. I didn't even know the Jaguars were shopping him.
Me neither. That came out of nowhere.
Because him and ETN were a great one too.
They were a great one too, but I think the Jaguars just finally said, we're going to trust this guy that we drafted in the first round. He has the chemistry with Trevor Lawrence. So,
I mean, yeah, I could say it because, what he's done as an RB1 so far, ETN, he's been good. He started off a little slow, but that's when Robinson was kind of majority RB1 splitting.
They were going hot hand.
Taken over. Yeah, exactly. Since ETN's taken over, he looks really good.
Especially this past week on Thursday. Man's had I think it was 18 carries for 160 yards, a touchdown, and 3 receptions, something like that.
Yeah.
He had himself a game. They did lose to the Broncos somehow, but
yeah,
definitely.
But no, that's not bad for the for the Chargers, the Jets, because they didn't give up that much.
Yeah, James Robinson definitely still, even after that injury, still a very good back. He showed early this season.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we touched on this a little bit. Robbie Anderson traded to the Cardinals for a 2024 6th and a 2025 7th. So there's your...
Nothing special.
Yeah, nothing to really rave about. They didn't really use him anyway. So
yeah,
Cardinals haven't really used him still.
Yeah, literally.
Just kind of like an trade all around. I guess getting the picks for a receiver that isn't really doing much recently, I would say the Panthers probably won that trade, but
yeah.
Cardinals did need wide receiver help, so, Deion Jones, you know who that is?
Deion Jones. Where was he traded from?
He was on the Falcons. He was traded to the Browns. He's a linebacker.
Like, the name does sound familiar, but I just can't put, like, a face to it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really going to go much into it just because I have no clue who he is. People are probably like, how do you not know who Deion Jones is?
I don't know much about the Falcons.
Yeah,
the one thing that I do know is, though, they made a trade at the buzzer beater where they sent the safety to the Bills.
Yeah,
we'll previous on the Bills, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, fellow ex, do we call him ex goat talker? Andrew would probably know who this guy is.
Yeah, big Falcons fan.
He was on a couple of the beginning episodes, if you guys don't know. All right, this one, I honestly didn't even know who this guy was. Apparently, he's pretty good. William Jackson III, the cornerback from Washington.
Commanders?
Yes,
yeah.
He was traded to the Steelers. Steelers got him in a 2025 conditional 7th, and they gave up a 2025 conditional 6th.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but the Steelers' defense is good. It's a good defense.
That's why
adding that is what the whole thing with the corner is that the Commanders wanted to trade him, and if they couldn't find a trade before the deadline, they were going to cut him. But I guess the Steelers didn't want to take a chance of someone else picking him up or trading for him, so they went and made the trade. But it's a good piece to their already good defense.
Yeah, Steelers they've had a good defense for the past couple of years now, and it's honestly really just carried the offense to. I mean, I think the playoffs last year, right, where they got destroyed by the Chiefs. I want to say.
Yeah, they made the wild card.
Yeah, so really, I mean, dude, if they got themselves it's really a quarterback play, man. If they had themselves a quarterback, they would be a scary team, especially these past 2 years. Dude, they got Najee, they got Deontay Johnson, they got George Pickens now. You put a quarterback in there that can actually play, that's a scary team,
it's definitely a couple other things, too, like offensive line and everything, because Najee's not doing anything this year, and that's not on the quarterback.
No, definitely not. I mean, last year, Najee kind of ate. But, I mean, different quarterback play. You go to these quarterbacks that are used to dumping it off, like Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger. Like, your running backs are going to eat because they're just going to get all these little receptions. So,
exactly.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if there were any other I mean, I'm going to go through these because the next two that I see, I have no clue who these guys are. So I'm just going to kind of, like, skip a little. Dude, I need to know. I need to learn more about football here, man. Justin would know this one.
The Jets guy.
The Jets guy.
I don't even know who
Jacob
that is.
Martin, not something I would know. So we're gonna go over to your Bills again. Dean Marlowe.
Mm-hmm.
Bills received safety Dean Marlowe. They gave up 2023 7th round pick.
Yep, this was another one, kind of like the Hines one at the buzzer beater, which I'm never mad at a little reunion. He was with the Bills previously, went to the Falcons, and now he's back home. So once the Hines trade came out, didn't hate it, wasn't mad. But the whole trade deadline, I'm like texting Trav and everything, and I'm like, I don't mind a running back, but I would love a safety. Jordan Poyer is dealing with injuries, his elbow and everything. I would love safety help. Then I see that we got him back after that, so I sent it to Trav, and I was like, all right, this makes me feel a lot better. Because we needed safety help with Poyer battling injuries. And it's a guy that's already familiar with we're familiar with him. He's familiar with us and our system. I think it's a win-win.
Oh yeah, it's definitely in a position that you need help in. I mean, you can't go wrong bringing back somebody like you said that knows the team, knows your system. So I think Bills had a good trade deadline, man. They didn't need to go and
Not
get
bad.
much, and they
No.
filled in a position they needed something at, and they went and got, I think, a very good option at running back to complement Josh Allen. So
Yeah, I can't wait to see how he plays in the passing game with Josh Allen, because they're gonna run that little wheel, and Naheem Hines is gonna turn those little legs up the sideline, and Josh Allen's gonna just hit him right in stride.
all right. So we're gonna go into some of the biggest losers of the trade deadline here. These are ranked in an order. Doesn't really matter. We're just gonna go down the list. It looks like there's 5 of them. So we're gonna start off with Aaron Rodgers.
1,000%.
I would have to
And
agree.
not even Rodgers, the Packers GM, the Packers fans, the whole Packers organization as a whole is just down bad.
Yeah, you gotta think. Did they go after Cooks? Did they go after DJ Moore? Did they go after? I mean, we saw the Claypool one,
Yeah.
so that one isn't really their fault. But you think about a guy like Brandon Cooks. That's like, it was kind of hard because a team would have had to probably take on his salary, which is $18 million.
Mhm.
So not a lot of teams are willing to do that. But definitely Aaron Rodgers and those Green Bay Packers, man. And
You also had Jerry Jeudy.
yeah,
He was being chopped. Like, there was options for them. Again, we don't know the specifics.
yeah.
But there were options for them.
It would
to
just
go.
be hard for me to see them not going after anybody and banking on the
Yeah.
plan to pick up OBJ when
Yeah.
you can't sit here and think this guy's going to mend everything. He's coming off a torn ACL. He's not old, but he hasn't been OBJ, the actual OBJ we all knew since, like, I don't know, 2017.
And it's not like the same old Packers we're used to. He wants to go to a contender, and this year, that's not the Packers.
They would have had to pick up a very good receiver before getting him and then get him, and I would put them probably in a playoff position, because if they had like DJ Moore and him, I'd be like, yeah, that's 2 very good receivers as your 1-2. Then you bring in your young guy Dobbs too. That's gonna start getting more run when you bring in these other big stars. So
Yeah, exactly.
God, I don't know, man. They're Packers aren't looking good, man.
They're down bad.
So we're going to go to number 2 here. We just mentioned him a little bit. Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, he wants out of Houston.
He wants more than out of Houston. He has made it clear. He with the tweets, with the whatever. And it seems like, I don't know if he's actually injured or maybe he's just going to,
I don't know.
he might just sit out.
Because they're saying that he's questionable for tomorrow. I think they said like a wrist, but they also said /personal. He doesn't want to play there anymore.
No.
But then
mean,
I feel like like sitting out like hurts you. Like,
I mean, it does. If he has to sit out the whole year, then obviously that's going to hurt him more than it's going to help him. If
yeah,
he
I mean,
tells,
it's like they're halfway through the season. You're not making playoffs. That would just finish out.
yeah, and if his best bet is to tell them, look, I'm not going to play for you, and they go, all right, buy out or cut him, whatever it has to be, which obviously we don't think is going to happen just because they didn't go and trade him. The only way they would have traded him is if they kept like a good amount of his salary on their pay books, and obviously that didn't happen because their GM did not want that to happen. So I can't see them eating his salary to cut him or buy him out. So
Nah, probably not. He's stuck.
he definitely is stuck. Sucks for him. He is a monster at receiver every single year too, even with shitty quarterback play. Like last year he was still a monster and he had Davis Mills. So we're going to go on to our next. We've talked about him a little bit earlier too. Cam Akers. Not a good situation going on over there.
He said too, he like came out and said like he doesn't think playing for the Rams the rest of the year is like at his best interest. So it sounds like he's going to be sitting out, and I think that's going to hurt him a lot.
I think it would definitely hurt him just because he just came off an injury. He played the playoffs, and then he's played in like 4 or 5 games this year. You sit out the rest of the year, you're going on almost 3 years straight of not playing. I did see some things saying that their situation is civil. There's no like bad blood, I guess. So it's still an awkward situation to be in where you just go and sit 2 games and your head coach has to acknowledge that it's probably best for you to find a new home, especially like your third year. Like, it's definitely a very weird situation, but I think he'll play this season. I do. So Cam Akers can be very good too when he's running the ball well, man. I mean, we saw it his rookie year before he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth on here, it's kind of one of my boys right now because he's on my team, Kareem Hunt.
Nah.
We're all shocked. We talked about it a little bit. All they wanted was a 4th. Couldn't make a deal happen.
It's not that he still gets.
He does get run,
and he's still involved. So I wouldn't say he's a loser in the trade deadline.
He had like the only reason I would say he's a loser in the trade deadline is because his team sucks. He wanted to go to a contender this year. That didn't happen. He still had 15 touches this last game, 12 rushes, 3 receptions. Mm-hmm. So he still, like you said, he still gets a run. He actually gets in a lot more than a lot of other number 2 backs do for their teams. Mm-hmm. So it was probably hard to find a spot for him because it was going to have to be a contender. You're looking at scarce teams at that point. You're looking at the Bills. You're looking at like possibly like, I don't know, the Rams trade Akers and then go get him. I mean, I don't know. But they have Darrell Henderson. They have like their rookie that's supposed to come back that they like. Outside of the Bills, though, you sit and you think, like, what other teams really need a running back? I tried to think of it yesterday. It was before the trade deadline, like, who are they going to give him to? And I really couldn't think of anybody. I was sitting there. I was like a team like the Bucks he's not going to go to. He's not going to go to somebody like the Packers or the Vikings.
No.
He's not going to go to the 49ers.
He went to the Patriots. They're not contenders.
Exactly. He wasn't going to go to he had a chance to go to the Bills. That was like the one spot. It wasn't going to the Giants. The only other one I could think of was like maybe the Eagles.
Dolphins, maybe.
But then they already had made plays, so you probably weren't going to see that happen.
But that's like if they didn't do the Jeff Wilson trade.
Yeah. So, Kareem Hunt, end of this year. Here's the tricky part. Now that I'll probably end up with him on my team for the rest of the year and James Robinson. They're not going to, like, James Robinson isn't going to sign with the Jets, obviously. Kareem Hunt's not going to sign with the Browns. One, maybe both of them finds a new home as a number 1. Those are some pretty decent keeper picks, if I do say so myself.
They're not bad. There's a lot of running back talent in the free agent market this offseason. So I think you're going to see a lot of new homes for a lot of running backs.
I definitely agree. But you also got to think these guys are... Who are we talking about here? Kareem Hunt. Who was the other one? I already forgot. James Robinson. James Robinson's still young. Looks like he's still good after that injury. So that one's a little better. But Kareem Hunt, what's he been in the league now? 5-6 years? He's getting to that point.
Yeah.
He's getting to that point where running backs start to decline. So we'll see. Maybe next year he's still good. Maybe not. You never really know. 5th one on this list comes in as Broncos defense. Giving up.
Yeah, I mean, you lost one of your best defensive players. You didn't get anybody else. I mean,
was that the only trade?
They're just.
Was that the only trade they made? Was that one? Yeah. I mean,
I believe so.
You give up Bradley Chubb.
Yeah.
I mean, they are. What'd you say?
They're a bad team.
I was just about to say that. They're, 3-5?
Something like that.
Probably not making the playoffs, so it was like I guess I don't know. That just that hurts, man. Um, well, they got the guy from the Jets too, but
Yeah, I don't know who that is, huh?
me neither do I. I don't know, man. That might that might have to do it for this one, unless you want to talk about anything else.
No, I think that's all I got for this one. We got our mascot.
Hazel, she was up on the bed before.
This is Hazel. I'm sure you guys have heard her squeakiness in a lot of videos, but this is the face of the squeakiness. Goat Talk's mascot, Hazel.
Look at that.
She's a nut job.
All right. So that's gonna do it for this episode, guys. I hope you guys enjoy the new setting. Just for this episode right now, maybe some in the future. We'll see. Maybe, possibly, get Joey some headphones, or I don't know. Maybe at some point Joey ends up with a PC, gets a nice little setup going like me. We'll see.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. What do you think of this setup? How is the sound? How is the picture? All of that.
Honestly,
we definitely want to know.
I have like my old PC stuff. Tommy did want me to give it to him and build him a computer, but I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, you probably wouldn't be able to run any games on the crap that I have over there. So maybe I just get it all. If I have all the parts, I just get it all set up, put it at your house, and then,
Gotta find out. Just gotta figure out where.
Get you a mic.
The desk is gone.
Is it? You guys actually got rid of it?
Yeah.
I didn't know you got rid of it. How'd you, like, the whole thing?
The whole thing.
Sheesh. How's it look over there? Is there a lot more room for activities now?
Is the episode over?
No, I could end it real quick though. All right, guys. This is gonna do it for this episode of Goat Talk. You guys know all the links will be in the description below. W Energy, all our socials. You know the vibes. It's gonna do it. Deuces.
Go Bills.